So, there we go. It seems everything is working as intended. Hello to any viewers, be it now or, well, later or as a VOD. What is this about? Well, as the title says, we are doing philosophical debates. And this isn't the first part. Let me just show you. I already debated heavily against Euthyphro and Protagoras, which I guess was interesting, but so far my biggest criticism of the game would be that their arguments were very simplistic. Oh wait, you can't actually see them. Wait, there we go. And, well, they basically folded after like a very, very quick and easy process. I kinda doubt that the historical philosophers were that easy to overcome, to be honest. But I am kinda interested where this game is going and what kind of arguments we are going to face, so why not do a stream to maybe finish it up. Or, I don't know how long the game is. So, without further ado... No! I did not want to go back to... Wait. No. No. Continue. We are facing down Thomas Hobbes. I got to admit that I have no idea about Thomas Hobbes and his writings, or any of his arguments. So yeah, this will be interesting. Of course, I am standing right behind Socrates Jones here as his trusty, well, or not so the trusty companion. Oh, well, most of the time I will actually cover up his head, but you know. So, Hobbes, what the hell are you actually about? You should know, Mr. Jones, that my mother gave birth to twins. Myself and Fear. What? By the end of the day, you'll be thoroughly acquainted with both of us. Okay. Geez, isn't he a dramatic one? I think I should up the volume a bit. Hobbes, you may present your argument. Of course, Arbiter. Allow me to begin by describing to you the natural state of man. Okay. In the natural state, men find themselves equal and in competition for resources. Being selfish, they will go to any lengths to achieve their desires. This sets them at odds with every other man, creating a constant state of war. Ceaseless conflict makes life nasty, brutish, and short. And there we go, the natural state of mankind. Okay, so the natural state added to the idea slate. And I guess yeah. Apart from the natural state, we still got your face is ugly. Mankind is selfish. Okay. But wait, he said nothing about morality. Of course not. In the natural state, there is no morality. So his point is morality just isn't a thing, huh? There's nothing binding us to respect one another, nothing stopping us from killing each other. What? Well, that's depressing. And ridiculous. Of course there's a sense of right and wrong. I don't know what to do with my face cam. Maybe I just put it in the middle here. but there's no way this philosophy can possibly be the correct answer. You seem rather sure of yourself, Mr. Jones. Shall we put your theories to the test? Gladly. Well, the obvious counterpoint, yeah, would be that while there's plenty of examples of war and conflict, there's also plenty of examples of uh, cooperation, friendship, and love and such. Careful. In the natural state, a man finds himself equivalent in competition for resources. And there's actually quite a bit of research that people have an inherent sense of right and wrong and an inherent sense of fairness. They do experiments with babies. Not too bad experiments, like psychological experiments where they present unfair situations, like a baby getting more cookies than another baby, and not only the victim but also the benefactor often reacts very upset at the unfairness of it all. And also, children are, as very often parents know, are naturally inclined to help someone. They are always eager to show off their abilities. Like if you want a child to like clean up the room, like you won't get anywhere when you just say like clean up your room, go and do it because I say so. But often it's far more effective to go there. Oh, I don't know if I can clean up this room. Oh, can't you help me? I don't know if I can do it. Can you do it? Can you find where your toy is going? People are naturally helpful unless they are driven by something else that overrides that. I think that will be our argument. Okay. Being selfish, they will go to any lengths to achieve their desires. This sets them at odds with every other man, creating a constant state of war. Ceaseless conflict makes life nasty, brutish, and short. With every other man, clarify that. Unable to achieve the same ends, men must fight to gain an upper hand. In such a world, force and fraud are the only cardinal virtues. Yeesh. Talk about a bleak view of humanity. It sets them at odds with every other man, creating a constant state of war. But yeah, people work together. Wait, how do we know, though? Oh, so your argument here is about as weak as they come. Claim that people are in a constant state of war, but I see people cooperate every day. Is that so? Yes, societies are in fact built upon such cooperation. Employees in a business collaborate to create a product. That's a weak counter-argument, though. That's out of self-interest. Like, the collaboration is... Yeah, let's just see where Socrates is going. Construction workers get together to build a house. Doctors work together to save their patients. Philosophers work together to find the truth. Exactly. Thank you, Arbiter. Well, Thomas Hobbes, if people were always at war, none of these things would be possible. Society as we know it couldn't exist. What do you have to say to that? Yes. I say you are merely an observer of the obvious, Mr. Jones. Huh? You insult my intelligence? Okay, good. You really think I hadn't considered such things? Our sense of morality is what allows us to cooperate in such a fashion. But wait, hold on. You said earlier there was no morality. Well, no objective absolute morality. Or what is this point? Indeed. In a natural state, that is true. This is true. However, such a state is extremely uncomfortable. We have long since moved beyond it. Allow me to explain to you, Mr. Jones, the step you have missed. Okay. At the core of mankind's self-interest is survival. However, in the natural state, there is no security. I see why I didn't put it in the middle anymore. What he is talking about is the social contract. So. Thus, mankind is impelled to seek peace from contacts between individuals. It is from such exchanges our sense of morality is born. Morality is inherently a social construct, huh? Or a social contract. I guess I could agree with that. Let's see how we can take it apart. There you have it. Our moral rules, our society, our political systems, they all come from the social contract. A very compelling argument indeed. How did this happen? I thought for sure we were ready to move on. You walked right into this one, Dad. Helped him set it up and everything. Hobbes is one of the most prominent social contract philosophers. Interesting. I did not know that. Well, I did know the name Hobbes, but I didn't know he was all about the social contract. So only naturally he took his argument in this direction. What? You notice? When did you warn me? Sorry, I just assumed you already knew. Fuck. I mean, that's kind of... It's not uncommon knowledge, you know? It's the problem, Socrates. Oh, you're ready to accept the truth of my argument? His argument seems pretty solid now, that's for sure. But something built on a premise so grim, can't just accept it without examination. But I'd like to ask Mr. Hobbes a few questions. As is appropriate for someone named Socrates. Scholastic thinking, I only see a traction of it in it. Come now, Hobbes. Very well, Mr. Jones. Give it a shot. Let's see how it goes. At the core of mankind's self-interest is survival. What do you mean by that? Above all else, we want to live. Power and knowledge don't mean anything to the dead. But there are examples of people sacrificing their life to higher causes. Unless you're stuck forever debating in some twisted philosophical afterlife, you have to get out of here. Do we have already a... Well, we don't really have a good counter-argument yet. And never in the natural state there is no security. Clarify that. Natural state, anyone is free to do whatever they please. This includes actions which would cause harm to other people. If you were in a natural state and I felt a desire, I could kill you without consequence, Mr. Jones. Assuming you were not already dead, of course. Is he threatening me? I hope you understand just how little security the natural state affords. I mean, sure. Thus, mankind is impelled to seek peace, forming contracts between individuals. What exactly do you mean by contracts? Indeed, this could use some elaboration. Very well. By contract, I refer to an agreement between individuals. In such contracts, we agree to give up some of our personal freedoms, most notably our freedom to harm. Because others do as well, with such an agreement confers unto everyone greater security. Interesting. I mean, what kind of counter-arguments do we have? I mean, that is consistent with being selfish. Being selfish does not mean that you have to act against others. But yeah, people often help each other in order to further the overall good. It's from such exchanges that our sense of morality is born. Yeah. I mean to say that morality comes from a social construct, a contract. We form treaties and those treaties determine what we are allowed to do. Assuming, as we have the natural state exists, and the natural state, man is free to do whatever he pleases, can only conclude the restrictive morality we know comes from the contract formed between men. But people work together. Ah, that didn't work. Humbug! Oh, I hit not. Let's go with not. That's another problem with the game. It is too simplistic. I can just... and something is wrong with the chat window. Is the stream even still working? Yes. At least it looks like it. Or not? Weird. It seems something is running. Sorry, technical difficulties again. That's why I don't like streaming usually. This is weird. The Steam shows that it's still active, but everything is lacking when I try to load anything. I'll be back in a